And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and.
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
Like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He meant the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Lucifer Arnold. Okay?
My man.
Okay.
Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go outplace everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's. And we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog.
How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think
you.
of something
All
funny
right,
and start laughing.
do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang,
bullets.
bang. Water guns. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. You know, I hope you guys are having a good one today. There is some interesting news that has happened recently over the past few hours when we left the morning show and all that. So we have some interesting news and of course we're going to jump into that. And the reason why I say we is because my brother Tommy Boy is in the house. What up, Tommy Boy?
Hey, how's it going?
I am hopeful today. Yeah. I am like right now. This morning, not so much. Today, right now, tonight, I am hopeful tonight. You want to know why? Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Why, y'all? Why? Because all the officers have been arrested and charged. And I'm very, very excited about that. If I'm correct, Tommy, speak on it. Let them know the good news. I'm going to let you say the good news.
Yes,
go for it.
There's excellent news here. This is great news. Attorney General of Minnesota today came out. Keith Ellison said he had upped the charge against Derek Chauvin from third-degree murder to second-degree murder.
Yes, he did.
And the other three officers have been arrested, basically for accessory abetting the murder of George Floyd. So it's good news. It's a great start, and boy, do I hope they're convicted and they go to jail like they should.
Yeah. So me very happy tonight I'm very happy because why? Finally, they are starting to listen to the protesters. They're finally starting to listen to us. So I'm very happy about this. I am extremely happy about this move. I know that when we got done with the show, I was talking with Tom for a good few minutes there, and I was nervous. Now I know that Tom was saying, Tom, you said I'm talking about you like you're not even here, so I apologize. But I'm just so hyped right now. Like I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that this is actually happening. It's a small step. It is a very, 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 very small step, but it's a step in the right direction, and I will take that. But I know that we were talking and right after the show, and I'm like, I hope to God that they charge the other three. I really hope they charge the other three, because if they don't, they're going to have a mess. They're going to have a whirlwind of problems. But then you said something about the actual person that was going to be, making the decision whether or not to make the charge. So, speak on that a little bit, because I know that you were saying something that was really cool.
Yeah, Keith Ellison is, he's one of those people. If you're a lefty, you love him. If you're not, you really don't. But right. He's been on the political scene for a while there. He was up for a little while for he was in the running for the head of the DNC the DNC chair.
Yeah.
He lost out that position to former Secretary of Labor Tom Perez. But he was the deputy chair for a while. He might still be, I'm not sure, but in my opinion, he's a guy that you can trust to bring the right charges against these guys. Somebody who's going to make sure that they have a case and that these guys will hopefully, God willing, be found guilty, and justice will be served for George Floyd's family, for George Floyd.
Yeah. And you know, when you said that, you were telling me all about that. I'm like, well, then it's in the bag. But at first I was kind of like, well, you never know. You never know what he has in his back pocket. He could have some other political goals that he has in his own mind that he wants to have happen. They might threaten him with other things, or they might try to get a certain bill or something like that. Some sort of thing that he's trying to get behind. I don't know. Anything's possible. Anything's possible nowadays. I mean, it seems like Trump wants to, walk home with the W no matter what it means, no matter what that entails. So I was just like, you know what? I am hopeful. I feel like it's going to go down the route that I think it's going to go down, but we don't know for sure.
Right.
Doesn't mean that specific man is going to be a hardcore left liberal and then suddenly just make a decision randomly out of nowhere.
That's true. We've seen that happen before, where you think somebody's going to do the right thing and they don't. But I'm glad to see, at least so far, we're doing the right thing.
Absolutely. It's finally the right thing. We're finally doing the right thing. We're taking that step towards in the right direction, which I'm very, very thankful for. It's about damn time. And like I said, this is a very small step. Sorry to say it like that. It's a very small step, but it's a step in the right direction. As someone just commented just below, and good evening, everybody. Cameron on Facebook just said, good evening, Cameron. They said, this will be a great step towards the bigger picture. And I'm hoping, yes, it's a step. It's a one tiny step towards a very long journey that we have coming up here. This could very well be the longest summer we've ever had, or this could be the most triumphant summer we've ever had. And we'll see exactly what happens here very, very shortly. It's just only a matter of time, my brothers and sisters. It's only a matter of time. The only thing is we need to get Trump out of office. That's what I personally think. Sorry. Yep. I know that some people are Trump supporters that watch this show, and thank you for your views and your love. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, this man is terrible. And we're going to go into a breakdown of why he's so terrible right now. Let's get into it, shall we? Let me just say this really quick, okay? Snapchat stops promoting Donald Trump's accounts, says it will not amplify people who incite racial violence. Like Twitter and unlike Snapchat, like Twitter and unlike Facebook, Snapchat is taking action after Donald Trump tweeted, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts," and threatened to use vicious dogs and ominous weapons against protesters in the wake of George Floyd's death. The platform simply cannot promote accounts in America that are linked to people who incite racial violence, Snap co-founder and CEO Evan Spiegel wrote in a staff memo posted publicly today. As such, Trump's account, which has around 1.5 million followers, will no longer be promoted on Snapchat's Discover tab, where it is regularly featured alongside accounts of other public figures and high-profile publishing brands. However, his account will be left up, which appears to be because Trump didn't actually make those statements on Snapchat, but on Twitter and on Facebook. Now, I understand that Twitter is obviously, like I said in the very, very beginning, Twitter is doing the same thing. They are not promoting any of his content. They're not promoting his account because they are not about that life. Why? Because everyone's life is important. And if Trump is going to continue to talk this ish and talk the way he's talking, bruh, it's all coming down. It's like his castle that he's been trying to build high up in the sky is starting to slowly deteriorate. This thing is slowly starting to break down. And it's so exciting to see what happens. Finally, we get to see what what Melania Trump hates about him. Every day, all day. I'm sorry, there's a video out here. They're doing a photo op just the other day, and you see the look on her face of just complete disgust, just complete disdain. I think that she is just like she's trapped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, Melania needs a song like R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet, the whole series. You know what I mean? I'm trapped in the White House. Just the whole thing is about her being trapped in the White House with that man, okay? With that Dorito chip. Anyway, I'm sorry for going in so hot today, but hey, tonight, but I am very, very hyped right now. I'm very, very excited about this new news. And I got to be honest. Yes. You know, things are changing, and I'm hoping for the better. And I'm hoping that the protests that are happening right now continue to stay peaceful, because it seems to be working to a certain extent. He can't really say anything right now. He can't really bring out the military if we stay peaceful. If we keep protesting in a peaceful manner, there will not be the Insurrection Act. There will not. They will not. He cannot use that. There has to be some sort of way of him feeling like he is not safe, that the White House and the country isn't safe. If we keep it low and if we keep it peaceful, we can really take over this world. Somebody just said, Nikki said, I'm happy that they have the answer for what they did. The other charges are second and third, and second murder, third murder, and second manslaughter. And then, Black Traveler Brogy 89 just said, why it took them so long to arrest them. If they were black cops, it would have been a different story. And I agree. We both agree. We all agree. That would have been, they would have been thrown under the prison, under the jail. They would have been killed, buried, there would have been another Epstein moment. Trust me. They would have been gone. You know what I'm saying? Trust. It'd be a wrap, son. So the fact that this is all happening right now is really, really great. You know what I mean? Mr. T12 said you're going to make a lot more Trumpsters hate you, LOL. Hey, I'm sorry. It's true. You're right. I mean, I'm sorry for bringing out the news like this, but unfortunately, it is what it is. We got to come out here and speak the truths right now. The fact that people are coming out the woodgate, they're coming out the woodworks, coming out the gate with all this information. You're hearing on the news now, governors and mayors and stuff having their personal opinions about the man who runs our country. And they all basically echo the same thing. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's trying to be a dictator. He's trying to be Hitler. Divide and conquer. So on and so forth. We do have something about one of the people that used to work very closely to him that just recently came out and had his own 2 cents in regards to how Trump runs things. So, James Mattis denounces President Trump and describes him as a threat to the Constitution. Tom, I'm going to throw this one over to you, my brother. Why don't you speak on it, my brother? Some other great news. It's just so good. It's so good. Like, I just want to share the love. You know what I'm saying? I just want to share the bad news about Trump. Come on, baby. Speak on it, Tommy boy.
All right. Well, former Secretary of Defense James Mattis went off on Trump earlier today, said he's the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people. He said Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, does not even pretend to try. Instead, he tries to divide us.
Bang.
I think, yeah. He says we are witnessing the consequences of 3 years of this deliberative effort, we are witnessing the consequences of 3 years without mature leadership. We can unite without him, drawing on the strengths inherent in our civil society. This will not be easy, as the past few days have shown, but we owe it to our fellow citizens, to past generations that bled to defend our promise, and to our children. So, in no uncertain terms at all, James Mattis, former Secretary of Defense, letting it be known he does not think all too highly of Donald Trump.
Yes. Where did you stop at? You stopped at where? What was the last line that you said?
Let's see. We owe it to our fellow citizens, to past generations that bled to defend our promise, and to our children.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking for... There's more that he says. Sorry, I'm looking for this. Instructions given by the military departments to our troops before Normandy invasion. Okay, so he goes on to contrast American ethos, the ethos of unity, with Nazi ideology. Wow. Instructions given by the military departments to our troops before the Normandy invasion reminded soldiers that the Nazi slogan for destroying us was divide and conquer. Our American answer is, in union there is strength. We must summon the unity to surmount this crisis, confident that we are better than our politics. And of course, he obviously goes on to say more about how Trump is looking to divide and conquer. He has the mentality of, the approach of a Nazi, the approach of Hitler. He's trying to turn this into a dictatorship. Why would he want to bring in the military during the parade on July 4th? On the 4th of July. Why would he implement the military in the parade during that time? Doesn't that look a little bit Nazi-ish? Doesn't that look a little bit Hitlerish? Let's just say that. A tiny
Certainly
bit
authoritarian,
Hitler. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely authoritarian type stuff. And he started to show a little bit of that, like we've talked about millions and million times over, when he walked across the grassy knoll just to go take a photo in front of a church and hold a holy Bible. Which, he just thinks it's, loose leaf paper bounded together with a whole bunch of ink on it.
Just another prop.
Just another prop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a Bible. Like they show the footage of one of the reporters asking him, "Is that your Bible?" And he's like, "It's a Bible." Like it's congratulations. You just figured that out? He just figured that out. Yeah, he just figured that out. Anyway, so we got a lot of, there's some stuff that's going on. Things are brewing, but like I said, same thing, just like James Mattis, who just came out and said he's a tyrant, he's a terrible human being, and I don't want anything I don't want any part of him. That's why I resigned. That's why I stepped down, the whole nine. Everybody, I mean, it's been years and years. It's been 3 years of him, constant people, rotating table of people quitting and leaving the job leaving their positions because of how he is as a leader. He doesn't know what he's doing. There's plenty of books about him out there where people have made a mint off of how bad of a person he is. Yeah. It goes hand in hand. Like this is our president. This is the America that he wants to build. Right now, this is bliss to him. What he's seeing right now is exactly what he wants to have happen. At least in my personal opinion. I think what he'd rather it be, though, is that there are protests and riots out in the streets. The economy is on point, though. And his polls are just still through the roof. That's what he'd love to have happen. He'd love to see the country burn, but still look like a damn hero. He reminds me of Joker.
Yeah,
like
Agent of Chaos.
Yeah, there's a line in the Dark Knight where Alfred's just like, well, some men just want to see the world burn.
Yeah,
think about it. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know?
You know who I saw today
Go ahead.
that made me feel a lot better, though?
Who?
I don't know if you saw this today. Former President Obama.
I did
Former
not
President.
see. I did not see his whole address. What did he say? Did he say anything good? Maybe I should just pull it up.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
know?
see the whole thing, but
Well,
I
why not?
saw a few excerpts from it, and it just, say what you will about Obama, but boy, he can soothe the soul. He can soothe the nation, unlike our current president. You know.
Yeah, I'm
He
gonna.
can-
You're saying. Okay, so. He spoke a lot.
Yeah, it was a long address.
It's
I
like
did not
2
see the whole
hours.
thing. I saw parts of it.
Wow. Okay, so I think that there's a 15-minute one. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but we can at least play a tiny bit of it. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
can play a little bit of it, especially the parts that matter, especially in this time. So we're going to pull this up really quick, and you can hear that, right, Tom? Hold on.
I could hear it earlier. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't played anything yet, so I just want to make sure you can hear it real time as well. Hold on.
Yep.
Here we go. So Obama, of course, was on Zoom addressing the nation in regards to everything, but he also, addressed the situations in regards to the George Floyd protests that are going on currently in the United States, just in case you've been sleeping under a rug for the past 8 days. Anyway, here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. All the participants, all the panelists. Let me start by just acknowledging that we have seen in the last several weeks, last few months, the kinds of epic changes and events in our country that are as profound as anything that I've seen in my lifetime. And I'm now a lot older than planned. I'm going to be 59 soon.
Damn.
And let me begin by acknowledging that although all of us have been feeling pain, uncertainty, disruption, some folks have been feeling it more than others. Most of all, the pain that's been experienced by the families of George and Brianna and Ahmad and Tony and Sean and too many others to mention, those that we thought about during that moment of silence. And to those families who've been directly affected by tragedy, please know that Michelle and I and the nation grieve with you, hold you in our prayers. We're committed to the fight of creating a more just nation in memory of your sons and daughters. And we can't forget that even as we're confronting the particular acts of violence that led to those losses, our nation and the world is still in the midst of a global pandemic that's exposed the vulnerabilities of our healthcare system, but also the disparate treatment and, as a consequence, the disparate impact that exists in our healthcare system, the unequal investment, the biases that have led to a disproportionate number of infections and loss of life in communities of color. So in a lot of ways, what has happened over the last several weeks is challenges and structural problems here in the United States have been thrown into high relief. They're the outcomes not just of the immediate moments in time, but they're the result of a long history of slavery and Jim Crow and redlining and institutionalized racism that too often have been the plague, this original sin of our society. And in some ways, as tragic as these past few weeks have been, as difficult and scary and uncertain as they've been, they've also been an incredible opportunity for people to be awakened to some of these underlying trends. And they offer an opportunity for us to all work together to tackle them, to take them on, to change America and make it live up to its highest ideals.
Okay, I can't play all of it, of course, because it is quite a long speech, quite a long little live stream. But just to start off with, I mean, that was 3 minutes and 46 seconds in. I stopped at 3 minutes and I went in and I stopped at 3 minutes and 46 seconds in, less than 4 minutes. All right. And I'm already going, okay, you know what? We can do this. we can make it okay. Just hearing from him. And also right off the bat, he still talked about what was going on. He still addressed, first off, so charismatically and so compassionately, was able to talk about George Floyd and his family and the loss and all those things. That's what a president needs to be doing. That's how a president talks. That's how a president speaks. Who do we have in the office? But who do we have?
Obama's.
Yeah, go ahead. Who do we have? But here it is. Who do we have in the office? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, compare his speech to the other speech, to Obama's speech. That was just 3 minutes. Yeah. That was just a little under 4 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? I'm feeling like it's going to be okay. Trump, on the other hand, his energy is completely different. What were you going to say, Tom?
I mean, one thing I'd forgotten about, when you hear Obama speak, is how carefully he chooses his words. I mean, at some points when he was talking there, it was like, okay, come on, get to it. But he's choosing his words carefully.
Facts.
Because he knows that his words matter. And that's something you don't get out of Trump. No. Trump just fires right out of his id and out into the ether. And it's just hate and bile. And it's lovely to hear former President Obama speak and to choose his words carefully and know that they matter.
Homeboy don't give no damns.
People.
Trump don't give no damns.
No, he does not.
He don't give no damns. You know what I mean? Mr. T12 said, to be honest, I like the idea of someone like Trump, a wealthy non-politician who tells it like it is and clean up the politic nonsense and media biased who won't be paid to lie to us. But he is not Neo, a.k.a. the one. He is too much in love with himself and is an egomaniac who will do anything for self-validation. Exactly. I mean, of course, who wouldn't want to have a rock star for a president who comes in, he does his own thing, he's gonna switch it up, he's gonna change things, he's gonna do this, that, and the other, but he's gonna keep it straight funky with all y'all all the time. He's gonna keep it straight real all the freaking time. But then when he came into office, he completely did something totally different. And I think that's what a lot of people voted him. A lot of people voted for him. They got very excited about someone who's going to go in there and muck it up. He was going to go in there and wreck shop. He was going to take that nuke and go boom, all over the White House and go, this is how it's done, son. What did he do? Right now, when the times when we need him most to be presidential, he decides to resort back to being Trump. We need him to be more than just a flawed man. We need him to be a leader. We need him to be a president right now, and he's not being one. He's just going back to being that little kid, that little spoiled kid that's, whining about his rosebud. And that's exactly what's happening. A little Citizen Kane throwback for you guys. If you don't know, that's a deep cut. That's a hella deep cut. But anyway, moving on. It was the sled. Ruin the spoil, but give him a spoiler. But at the same time, we're right now in this situation where we need a president. We need somebody who's going to be Superman, and he's being Skeletor. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? He's being like he's being an evil doer, as George W. would say. You know what I'm saying? Those evil doers. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. What? Not gonna fool me again. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we need somebody who's gonna come in here and speak like Obama just did.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Obama can, yes, he's black. Yes. He's our black president. I get that. It could have been anybody. It could be George W. Bush. It could be Clinton. It could be anybody else who is our president. Like I said, Trump could redeem himself loosely. Let me throw that in there loosely, but he could redeem himself as a president to a certain extent if he came out and spoke in a diplomatic way and spoke with compassion rather than his ego, rather than sounding like his penis size. And this is exactly what he sounds like. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I got a huge dick. I got a huge dick.
He just, I don't think he's able to, I think about this, I can see where you're coming from saying like, okay, I want a rich millionaire guy that's not going to be beholden to anyone else. But it's really hard to get the kind of money that Trump got in an honest and ethical way, especially in New York City real estate in the 70s and 80s. That was a mob infiltrated industry. That was a scummy industry, the 70s and 80s New York real estate. And he got popped for discriminating against black tenants. I'm not that much of a religious guy, but there is the line. It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. And I think Trump is the example why that holds true.
Yeah. And, of course, we will continue to talk about everything that's going on because obviously as it goes, things are going to keep growing. Things are going to, the more people, I feel like more and more people are going to start jumping the bandwagon as far as government officials, the powers that be. I feel like there's going to be a lot more politicians that are going to jump out and kind of jump on the bandwagon of saying, here's the real truth about the Trump that you guys don't see or you see, but the rest, everybody else refuses to show, and that's what I mean by like, it's interesting when you see how things are being approached, especially I don't know, I was just having a conversation about this with my girlfriend. When are Trump supporters going to see who Trump is for what he truly is? Because I feel that, like you remember in this morning show I talked to you about, I had to unfriend somebody because I was just seeing all this propaganda, this racist, ridiculous propaganda on his page. And I'm going, all right, what do I need to do to, like, I have no power in changing this particular person's mind. I have no power in changing anyone's mind who is hardcore Trump. Like I said before, Trump could pull, like he said himself, he could pull the trigger point blank in the middle of the road and he'd be untouchable. That's what he truly believes. And I keep wondering how could I tell somebody who is somebody who's an avid Trump supporter or is, putting up hashtag Blue Lives Matter, or now there's this other one, White Lives Matter is coming out now. It's trending on Twitter and all that. And it's kind of like, where do they come off? Where do they come off? Where they think that this is right? And how, I mean, obviously, how can I change somebody's mind if it's not a mind willing to be changed? It's so crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Then you see, things like, you'll see certain things like people putting up posts on other kids who are doing racist posts, basically saying like George Floyd got what he deserved. Y'all need to stop whining about it. Stuff like that. White lives matter, or they're sitting there saying all lives matter, or, they're just saying some crazy racist, rhetoric that, of course, is getting them kicked out of their colleges. If they've been accepted into a college, they're not going there anymore, so on and so forth. But it's like, where can we start to get people to unlearn the hate that they've learned for so long so that they can actually get along with the rest of the world? Because, Tom, if you were some white, evil racist and were putting up racist stuff all over your social media, that's got to be a really lonely time.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody and their mama is the exact same way. It's not like everybody's going to agree with your thoughts. They're going to think you're freaking nuts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A majority. I mean, yes, there's going to be a small group that's with you, or that go, oh, that's so bad, but then pat you on the back behind closed doors. There's some people like that too, that sit there and go, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and then behind the closed doors, they're like, they're those black MFers and blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That just like to seem like they're part of the crew because they don't want to get themselves lynched, but on social media. But it's just like, how do you change somebody to, how do you get them to unlearn?
It's a cult at this. I mean, and I know that's an inflammatory word to say, but it is. And there are a lot of places, and I know some of these people that have become hardcore alt-right, pro-Trump people, and they've lost contact with family members, with friends, but they found a community online and social media that makes them feel like their views are acceptable, and they normalize it, because all these people that have frayed all of their real life relationships can find somebody just like them on the internet, and it'll make them feel validated. So I'm sorry, it's a cult. It's a cult.
It's weird, right? It's really, really weird.
It is. And they're told that their family members that believe that are libtards and all that kind of stuff. They have their own little language. They have their own media outlets like Breitbart and InfoWars and Fox News. And they don't believe any of the real news that comes out. It's a cult. It by textbook definition, there's a strain of, not every Trump supporter, but a lot of them. It's cult-like behavior.
Yeah. It is cult-like behavior. And and that's the thing. It's like, I just don't have time for it personally. I just don't have time for it. I've tried.
I mean, at some point, you just got to kind of write them off and laugh at them.
And that's the other thing. It's like it's like they're so brainwashed to a certain extent where you try your hardest to speak to them. You try to speak to them from the heart, and say, hey, here's this, that, and the other. Maybe something happened to them that it was a bad experience with someone, with someone of color. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that do happen on both sides of the fence. But at the same time, it's just like, I ain't got time for it. I'm not going to sit there and waste my time, trying to explain to people that, hey, okay, I'm not a bad person, and my people are not bad people. We are out here trying to make it, and we're all just trying to make $1 and live and have our pursuit of happiness, which is our right as an American here too. But unfortunately, a lot of people are set in their ways, and also I say people are lazy. Racists are really lazy. Long story short, Malia said, I agree, but that's wishful thinking. It goes against the grain it goes against his grain to be a leader. And yes, I agree. I absolutely 110% agree. It's really hard to get him. Like, he's stubborn. He is set in his ways. And I think he's lazy as well. He is lazy as hell. Stevens, go ahead.
I'm glad you said that, because it was something I was thinking about today, is how lazy it is to be a racist. To not see nuance or to be able to empathize is just lazy.
To not try.
Yeah.
Basically. To not even try. To not even give it a shot is lazy as hell.
Yep.
To not try to break through communication and try to understand each other is just the purest form of racism and laziness that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And when you try to explain something to somebody, and or okay, we're going there. All right. The other thing that really grinds my gears is when you have someone, it could be white or black, and they're saying some ignorant things, because sometimes, people will say something off color, pun intended. They'll say something off color, thinking that it's okay to say said thing. And then next thing you know, you're having to explain to them why it's bad for them to say that. Then they look at you like they're confused and they don't understand. Then they go, oh, okay, sure, my bad, bro. Or like, my bad, you're right, that's racist. Or that's right, that's ignorant for me to say. I'm forever changed. Come 2 weeks later, they're still saying the damn thing. They're still doing the same damn thing. And it's kind of like, well, that's just laziness. You're not even implementing what you just learned. Just like when you learn the language that we speak every day, once like we learn American, when we learn English, we know that, oh, this, oh, this is water, or this is milk, or this is called food. We start learning those words. What happens? We implement those things into our brain. We start using them into our vernacular, our daily vernacular, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to unlearning the hate that you've learned for however long. You implement that, you ingrain that into your daily vernacular. But if you're running around and shouting out the N-word every single day and still thinking all those things, all those closed-minded, stereotypical things, you're not learning anything. You haven't unlearned a damn thing, Mm-hmm. That's what it means by like being lazy. Like get off your ass, be proactive, and learn some things. Learn you something, yo. Yeah. Learn you something. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. For a lot of people, but it's still a vast minority. It's not a vast majority, but it's still there. And like I said, too, there are still people out there that are still marching for Black Lives Matter, but then they'll go home and say something real stupid and real racist when they get home. Real talk. Yep. So even the ones that are out there, I'm not sitting here saying that all the people that are supporting Black Lives Matter are that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there are people out there that are supporting it, then go home and they didn't learn anything. Just saying.
It's not easy to kind of be put in your place when you realize the way you've been thinking is wrong. And, I'll cop to it. I've been in that situation, not necessarily with race, although I'm sure I've said something somewhere along the line that, wasn't right and someone put me but nothing springs to mind off the bat. But with like homophobic statements, I mean, there was a time where it was not really frowned upon to say something was gay when you were talking about something that was lame. Like, oh, that, we all know what I'm talking about. But I went off to an art school, and I was still kind of talking like that. And, I would say gay instead of lame. And a very stern but polite homosexual man pulled me aside and said, yeah, that's not cool. Mm-hmm. Like, what about me is lame? And I'm not going to lie, my first reaction to it was to be defensive. Just like, hey, I didn't say it out loud, but internally I was like, hey, chill out. I don't mean it like that.
Right.
I didn't say that. I took it in, and and I had to really confront part of myself that, like, yeah, that's not cool. I need to unlearn that. I maybe wasn't saying it to hurt other people, but it clearly did, and it hurt this guy. And it's not comfortable to be put in your place when you've said something that's hurt somebody and you're wrong.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course there's, I've learned some things in my past, but at the same time, like, not saying that I'm perfect, because I'm not at all. But there's a lot of things that I've tried not to say even earlier on, because there's obviously things that we said when we were kids and, became the slang term for things that were whack or stupid, just like what you were just saying, lame, that kind of thing. And it's like, I personally, I never used those words because I already have to deal with the racist words that I hear every single day. So for me, it's like, words that are being used every day, the F word, the R word, and of course the N word, stuff like that. It's just like, it's those are things that it's like, oh man, I need to stop saying that particular thing, because what if somebody is actually that right next to me? What if somebody is homosexual? What if somebody is mentally retarded? What if somebody is, developmentally slow? I should not be saying those things, because I remember back in the day I used to use the R word all the time.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
Everybody did. But then after some time you start thinking about it, and it's like, that's kind of rude. That's really messed up. So then you start thinking about it and going, well, if I'm fighting for equality and for people to stop using the N-word or every other type of slang term that is a derogatory term towards black people, if I'm trying to have them stop doing that, why am I helping perpetuate the other types of stereotypes, the other derogatory terms? So I stopped that really early on. But it wasn't easy at first. It wasn't easy at first. Those things take time. It's not easy to just unlearn, just snap your fingers and suddenly, I'm not saying the R word anymore. I'm not saying retarded anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say, oh, that's retarded anymore. You have to work on it.
Yep.
It's ingrained in your vernacular. You're used to saying it all the time. Just like some people who are ignorant that think saying the N-word is just like, it comes out like breathing, Sometimes you got to unlearn those things, a lot of times you got to unlearn those things, if you're trying to unlearn hate and unlearn that negativity. But like I said, I mean, it took time, those things really took time. Steve Simpson just said on Facebook, the laziness applies definitely to the ignorant. I won't give up trying to show them, but they haven't tried for themselves. That's true. That is very, very true, Steve. Thank you so much for the comment on Facebook. That is very, very true. Emil in Sweden. What's up, Emil? How you doing, my brother? He said the Black Lives Matter is having a start in Sweden now, which is great, which is fantastic.
It's good.
Let me
I'd be curious.
Go ahead, Tom. You'd be curious?
I'd be curious to know what the state of racism is in Sweden. We're very familiar with racism in the United States, but just through like Twitter and Reddit the last couple of days, I've heard, people are addressing their own issues with racism in their own countries. I'd be curious to know, what the state of racism is in Sweden as far as immigrants go, or
that's a very good question,
that
brother.
sort of thing.
That's actually a very, very good question. Emil, please comment down below. Let us know what you think. What I was going to say is that's something else I wanted to point out because, even Trump just recently put out a tweet showing people, showing people from all over the country, from all over the world. I'm sorry, from all over the world. It was showing like Germany, the UK, Italy, people banding together and protesting the Black Lives Matter and being a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And he said in his tweet on the top, "They're all laughing at us now." The hell's that? You see what I'm saying, Tom? Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes me so angry. It makes me want to laugh. Like, it's laughable to me, man. That ish is laughable to me. You're literally going to sit here and tell me that all these people who are banding together, trying to fight the good fight, you're trying to tell me that these people are laughing at America? They're banding together just to have a good, hearty laugh? Ho, 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 ho. Why? Sorry, he's dumb. He's so stupid. You ugly, Trump. You ugly. Come on, man. Why? Why? It doesn't make any sense. A whole shot of all these countries coming together in unity, in unison, saying Black Lives Matter, all together, showing that we all could be, the world is hearing us. Man, the Amish got out here, man. We got the Amish up in this piece, and you're telling me that they're laughing at us now? When apparently Amish are not very forward thinking. You know, they keep to their own. It's very segregated. They like to keep
I just hope no Amish are watching this. I don't want to offend them at all.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not trying to offend any Amish. All I'm saying is, man, if the Amish are showing out, they're showing up and showing out. Mm-hmm. That says a lot, man. If the other countries are coming together and fighting, not fighting, just demonstrating and protesting, where on God's green earth where do you have the right to say that they're laughing at us now? But what's crazy to me, what blows my mind, man, is that there are people right now that are looking at that tweet going, damn right, and they're liking it. And they're typing underneath, make America great again, MAGA, we need to get these black MFers, all this stuff.
Yep.
And this is the president that we have, man. Oh my dear God! And see, that's the thing. Like, I've had these breakdowns, these rants and these breakdowns recently because I just don't know. I don't know why this is okay. Then you got other people that are hardcore conservative radio that are sitting there saying all kinds of stuff. Listen, I listen to everything. Do you understand? I listen to everything, okay? And I'm sitting here listening to all this stuff, because I want to hear perspectives. I want to hear all these other perspectives. You turn on the Fox News, they sit there and say that the protesters, they don't even say protesters, they're just saying violent groups of people. You'll have Geraldo. Why Geraldo? You have Geraldo up there sitting there speaking his stupid rhetoric. And then they try to push in front the black Republicans that they have on their Fox News network because they go, we got our tokens, look at it. They're talking about their own people and they're in the same way we are. Get the hell out of here. And suddenly that is okay. They're all laughing at us now. Like, I just don't. Then people are sitting there going like, I was listening to a radio show this morning, literally. I opened up my Facebook and there it was. And it's somebody, he's a friend. He has a completely different view than I do on a lot of things. But I said, you know what? Let me take a listen. Let me see what he's talking about. Man, he's comparing the riots and people busting through windows and businesses and stuff like the Kool-Aid man. Why are you talking about it like that, bruh? Why? Where do you have the right to say those things? Don't you see that there are people out here that are tired of the injustices? And suddenly, why can't you be on our side? Why can't people just band together and know the difference between right and wrong? What is so hard about this, man? Here it is. I'm opening up the phone lines. Give us a call at 314-766-3776. 4581. I want to hear your thoughts because I'm wondering if we're ever. I'm wondering when we're ever going to get things to change, when we're ever going to get people to actually, when we can all see the same thing, same perspective. I don't understand how it's so damn hard. What is so damn hard about getting the world together and knowing what is right and wrong? But I'll tell you this, though. Remember World War II? The Second World War? Do you remember that? Remember Hitler? Remember all that stuff? There were a lot of people that were all about Hitler. Were willing to put their lives on the line for Hitler. Whole Nazi movement. Throwing millions and millions of Jews in concentration camps. Killing them. Starving them to death. Torturing them. And people let that happen for a very long time.
Yep.
And I feel like the world saw that this was wrong and did something about it.
Well,
but now we're here. We're having somebody, and he's brimming. He's percolating. You know what I'm saying? He's percolating. He's working his little magic right now. Nothing's happened yet. He hasn't started his own regime or anything crazy like that. But wait for it. If he gets to that, he can get that far if he wanted. Because there are people out there that would be all about that. 110%. I don't want this to take 7 years for people to finally stand up against what is right. Or I'm sorry, against what is wrong. Whoops.
We know what you mean.
I don't want that to take. I don't want it to take forever. I don't want to see another term. Then he has more time to sink his talons into this country even more.
I just
And
want
that
to point out
terrifies me.
also, you're talking about Nazism. Nazism that was quite popular in the United States for quite a while there.
It was?
Late 30s. Charles Lindbergh, Nazi. Henry Ford, Nazi. They were fans of Hitler's ideology. And it you think it can't happen here? It already did to some extent. It can happen again here, right, like that.
You know, it's interesting because I'm interested to see. I did not know that. I mean, I just remember Charles Lindbergh and the kidnapping, and I think he was trying to run for president at one point.
Yeah,
Lindbergh,
he was.
Yeah. Lindbergh's baby, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct, right? I'm doing a very, very rough history lesson in my head right now. But man, Emil, you just need to call. I don't think it will cost that. I don't think it will cost that much. If you have a cell phone, it shouldn't cost that much. I don't think. I don't know what your international rates are, but give us a call. Just make it a very quick phone call. You know, stay under 2 minutes, and I promise I'll watch the timer. I'll be like, you got 2 minutes, go. You know what I mean? Call in, put in your 2 cents, and hang up. That'll be easy. So don't be shy, Emil. Sorry. But yeah, I just say, like I said, there comes a time when things need to start where the right things need to start coming out, where the good actually comes out. And I'm wondering when that's going to actually happen. Emil, Skype will work. just call. Just call that number, 314-766-4581, and it'll go straight to me, and we'll talk. All right? But yeah, now here's the thing. I know that like even on this is what I like about these chats, because there's a lot of people that are on different sides of the spectrum. You know, some people agree, some people disagree, some people are with us, some people are not with us, and that's fine. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe not, Tom. Okay.
Put your right foot in.
Thank you. I was like, you were like, I think you were literally like processing that in your head. So I was like, I'm just gonna let those rusty wheels start turning. Hold up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'll wait.
I forget who it was, said something really funny. They said, what if the hokey pokey really is what it's all about?
It is. You're like, wait, is that what it is? Is that what it really is all about? Just putting your foot in and putting your foot out and putting your hand in. But where are you putting your foot in? Like, into what? You know what I'm saying? What are you putting your foot into? That's the question. Like some weird dark abyss? Like, what's going on? You put your right foot in. You know what I mean? What is that? What is in it? You put it in where? That's what I'd like to know. Damn it. Anyway, moving on. Hello, Debbie. Good evening, Jiki. The question was just Emil. The question is what your thoughts on in regards to just I don't even remember the question anymore, to be honest. Just call us in, tell us what you think about everything that's going on all over the world as far as the protest, if you're with it, if you're not, if you think Trump is an idiot, if you think Trump is the smartest man in the world. I don't care. Call, talk about it, speak on it. Let's just hear what you got to say and what you think about things. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Very, very simple. All this mess started because some crooked cops killed an innocent man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is I'll tell you this too. Chauvin should get first degree. That's what I think. He should most definitely get first degree. Yes, I'm glad it got moved up to second, but at the same time, he should get first degree. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know about the other cops. The other cops should get exactly what they're getting right now, which is second, third, and second manslaughter or something like that. If I'm correct, right, Tom?
I have not seen a list of the official charges yet. I heard during Keith Ellison's press conference earlier today something along the lines of accessories or abettors to murder. But I haven't seen an official list of charges yet.
Wow. Yeah. Sorry, I just read this comment. This is kind of funny. I think it's funny. Frank on Facebook said, in all caps, by the way, he wanted to make sure this was read. So he said, if you want the cop who kneeled on George's head to be taken care of, we need to tell Hillary that he has dirt on her. He will commit suicide within an hour by shooting himself in the back of the head 6 times. Mm-hmm. Epstein. Just a little Epstein humor right there.
Is that, yeah, Epstein or Seth Rich? Yeah.
Either one. How about a hybrid between the two? Oh, and that's the other thing. I mean, there's obviously some anonymous video out there talking about certain things, but we're going to talk about that here very, very shortly. We got a phone call. I'm going to pick this up, Tom.
All right.
Hey, you're on the mic with Pascal. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm actually calling from Tampa, Florida, my man.
What's up? What's your name?
My name is John.
John, what's up, John, from Tampa, Florida? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, my man. You know, I got to say a couple of things here.
Shoot.
You know, let's just say one of my boys was to go in and I don't know, do something foolish and rob a bank. He jumps in my car, right? I did nothing. I was just sitting in my car. I just drive him away.
Right.
Come to find out, say he shoots somebody in that bank and that person dies. I get charged with bank robbery and with murder.
Right.
So why are these other cops only getting charged with abetting?
Oh, so why are they only getting So you're thinking that
These cops, the other cops, I don't
Go
care that people say, well, they didn't do anything. Yeah, they did do something.
Absolutely.
They sat there and they watched this man die, and they did nothing about it.
Yep.
They should be charged with murder, not abetting murder, murder.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, John. That's what I find really weird. At least the other two men that were sitting on his back should definitely be charged with much worse. The guy who was off on the side, yes, he should be smacked in the face hard. In fact, I want him to get everything that everyone else is getting because he was just a part of it, just as much a part of it. But I feel like the only thing he's going to really get is, accessory to murder or something crazy like that. He'll get like a slap on the wrist in comparison to what the other three guys are going to be getting. But absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the other two men that were sitting on his back should be smacked in the face hard with the law for sure.
And
John,
you said something I wanted to touch on. You had said that you feel that they should be. The one guy, Derek Chauvin, should be charged with first-degree murder.
Yep.
The problem is, and this is what a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, shoot.
The way that these attorneys are in the courtroom and how slick they are and how easily they can manipulate jurors who, let's face it, for the most part, they weren't even intelligent enough to get out of jury duty. Most of them don't even want to be there.
Word.
So these defense attorneys play all these games. They put these little seeds of doubt. If they charge with first degree, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he pre-planned, premeditated, gave this some thought to murder him. And that's not what this was. This was a piece, I don't want to curse, but a not nice guy
It's
who,
okay, brother.
decided to abuse his power as a cop.
Right.
And the other thing, if you look into this guy's background, he had charges filed against him, complaints filed against him by a ton of white and black people. He was just an abusive cop, and people are saying, oh, we should, post his address and go harass his family. I guarantee you this man beat his wife and kids.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
Thank you. I'm not the only one who thinks that. Come on now. You know for a fact. Sorry, this is not towards you. I'm agreeing with you. You know for a fact that he was obviously an abusive man. He's obviously been abusing his wife, who actually is getting out scot-free by divorcing his ass and all that stuff because the window was open. So she's like, I am out. Peace, deuces. I'm chucking up the deuces. I'm out. The other thing is that her brother is his brother-in-law was his partner, the guy who was standing on the side watching all this stuff. You know for a fact that I guarantee you that guy was put in a situation that he felt he couldn't get out of as well. Still, no matter what he did was very wrong, but I feel like he was in that situation of he was being bullied. I think that Chauvin is one very large, crazy piece of trash bully. And he was bullying everybody around him, and that's exactly what went down. And the thing is if he's had a record of being a piece of trash, what sucks is that why was he in the force? Why is he on the streets? Why is he going out and protecting and serving when he's just doing trashy things in the first place? You know what I mean? A piece of trash is a piece of trash, and that ain't going to change a damn thing. Go ahead, John.
And that's what makes me nervous about him going to prison. Everyone says, oh, they're going to get him in prison. No, they're not. He's going to be put in protective custody, and no one's going to be able to trust me, man. Like I don't know. I don't want to say they like all cops are bad. Let me not sound ignorant. Not every single cop walking the face of the earth is a bad, person who beats up white and black people for fun. That's not true.
Word.
There are good cops. There are bad cops. I know that. But I just feel that this guy was protected because how could you have all those complaints against you and nothing ever happened? Exactly.
That's why it's like, how does he get away with murder? Basically, he's been getting away with murder for a very, very long time. And then now he's just got caught. Finally, he got caught. And it's like, why does it take so damn long for those things to happen? Why does it take so long if the guy has multiple strikes on his record of being a dirty cop? Why does it take so long for them to process him out or kick him out? Why does it take a murder live on video in front of the public for them to finally throw him under the jail? And even after that, they weren't going to charge him. They were just going to fire him and let him walk free. until we
I know.
all
It
started
makes
getting
no
losing.
sense at all.
You see what I'm saying? It's
And on
wild
top
to
of
me,
it,
man.
he's making jokes. He's making jokes as this man is dying. He says, "See, kids, this is why you don't take drugs."
Exactly.
Are you kidding me, man?
This is
Are you kidding me?
It's crazy, John. And that dude was getting off on that. Real talk. You can see it in his face when you watch those videos again. You know, if you watch those
100%.
videos over again, he's getting off
He was
on that
smiling.
stuff. Yeah, he loved it. Little masochistic. You know, he's like some crazy. That's some crazy. He's a sadist, right? That's a sadist.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's some sadist crap. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, man.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. The guys, the other two that were, at least the other two that were on his back, should be getting just as much of a penalty. You know, they should be charged the same charges as Chauvin. The only reason why that Chauvin is getting the eyes on him right now, honestly, is one, yes, the knee on his neck for sure, but two, it's because his face was all over that viral video. All up in the video, man, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, man.
100%.
John,
All right, man. I'll let you get out of there. Love
thank
your
you,
show.
brother.
Big fan.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Stay
All right,
healthy, man.
Be good. Take care.
Peace. So yeah, man. You know, woo. I appreciate that call. That made me feel good. You know, sometimes you just don't know what kind of phone call you're gonna get. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right.
I do.
I'm about to get ready for a fight.
Yeah,
but no,
we've had some doozies.
I've had some doozies for sure, and that's fine. That's what the show's all about. You know what I mean? Like, to talk about it, get it all off our chest. But John, shout out to John in Tampa Bay. Thank you so much for calling in and all that. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we are. This is how we do. You know what I mean? Let's see. Lynn Ann on YouTube just said he can get off upgrading him to second-degree murder because there was no intent. Was an angry cop who lost his temper, but intent, no. And that's very true. But if you look at the video, and if the lawyers are good, if they have really good lawyers, they could literally see in just the video itself can show that the man wanted to put a hurting on this guy.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't do a damn thing about it while he was on the ground, limp. They didn't check his pulse. They didn't do anything. It was like Chauvin was trying to show off like he was the Tiger King. And he's like, look at this beast I got under my knee.
Yeah.
Look, see what I'm doing? I got my hand in my pocket. I'm kneeling on his neck. I'm the strongest man in the world. Look at me tame this beast. Oh, you don't believe that I can tame it? Let me dig in this knee a little bit harder. He didn't do anything. He didn't change anything. So I feel like they could find a way to fight this in court to at least get him second degree.
Second degree, absolutely.
At least.
I don't think
I don't think he's going to walk. I really don't think he's going to walk. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, this the maneuver he was using of putting his knee on George Floyd's neck, he did not come up with that on the fly. That's a maneuver that's been used by the Minneapolis Police Department 428 times since 2012, and in 14% of those cases, the person with the knee on their neck lost consciousness. This was not the first time this guy had done that, undoubtedly.
Oh,
and it was a maneuver known throughout the police department that could subdue people, and at least in 14% of recorded, and that's just, reported instances, the person lost consciousness. Yeah. So I think you can prove that he knew he was killing him. I think if you're doing a maneuver that 14% of the time ends up with a person losing consciousness, and you do that maneuver to a guy for 9 minutes, you know damn well what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you look at his record, you look at his past, you look at his record, you look how he is, then you look at the video. You just look at the video. Just look at the damn video. and you see the look on this man's face.
Yep.
And you can see for a fact he just wants to see blood. He's only seeing red. He's just trying to exercise his power. And that's all he cares about. Maybe he didn't mean to kill the guy. Maybe he didn't mean to kill George Floyd. But he sure as hell was loving every minute of it until he went limp. That man was dead when they picked him off the ground and put him in the gurney. Dead.
Then they lied about it and said he wasn't dead then, that he died later at the hospital until the first responders said, no, he was dead when we picked him up.
That man was lifeless, yo. That man was dead.
Yeah.
D-E-D. Dead. That man was dead. You watch the whole video. They didn't even bother to perform CPR on him. There was no chest compressions. The man was dead. And he probably had been dead for minutes. So there was no point to resuscitate at that point. He was beyond the point of resuscitation.
Yep.
He should get, I just hope to God that Attorney that Attorney Crump is an amazing lawyer. And I hope that he fights tooth and nail. And they get justice.
Minnesota Attorney General's office, I believe, that'll be putting the case together against these officers. So Crump is certainly representing the family, but I believe the criminal case against the officers will be from the Minnesota Attorney General's office.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, hopefully they pick
under
a really
the
good lawyer.
leadership of Keith Ellison and other people. You never want to. I'll knock on wood, but hopefully it's in good hands.
Yeah. Rosa just said, "Where's the video of the officer's arrest? Is it not as newsworthy as 4 black men killing an officer?" That's a very good point. I don't know. I haven't seen any video. I haven't seen any footage of it, of like an actual arrest of the other 3. But they say that they've been detained, that they've been arrested. I'm assuming they've done it just quietly because maybe they just didn't want to cause a mob at their homes. That's my assumption. Or maybe they were already arrested. I got another phone call. Let me jump on this real quick.
All right.
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
It's Emil.
Emil, how you doing, my brother? Sweden, what's up? Yeah. Emil, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very good, man. All the way from Sweden. Hey, man.
Yeah, it's a long way.
Yeah, man. I will make this quick. So, because I know that it's expensive. So,
yeah.
Tell me, what are your thoughts? Speak on it.
Well, about about the Black Lives Matter things.
Yes.
In Sweden, we're gonna have a Black Lives Matter in I think 2 months or something. Something about around there.
Oh, okay.
I think it's gonna be the first Black Lives Matter in Sweden.
Really? And that's in 2 months?
Yeah, something about that. Yeah, somewhere around there in the summer or something.
That's what's up, man. That's very, very cool.
Yes, yeah. Well, we are pretty politically correct in Sweden, so.
Right.
Everyone go mad at what is his name? Joyce, the man who got killed by the police.
Oh, Chauvin. Yeah, Chauvin.
Yeah.
Derek Chauvin. Yes.
Yeah. He got huge attention in Sweden as well.
Oh wow. So, are there people?
Yeah, it was demonstrations.
Oh, so there are
as well.
So there are demonstrations in Sweden. That's what's up. That's amazing. Yeah. How is it over there?
Yeah.
Is it peaceful protesting
it's
or
nice.
is it?
Say that again.
Is it peaceful protesting or is it violent protesting over there in Sweden?
No, it's peaceful. Nobody would like having a violent protest.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but in Sweden, there's not a lot of people with. Can you say black people? Is that allowed?
Yeah, that's okay, man.
It's okay. Yeah. So we don't have a lot of black people in Sweden, but we still care about them.
Yeah.
And like everyone, I would say almost no one is racist in Sweden, but only the elder guys.
Right.
Because, they have the World War II and everything.
Right, they're a little
it was
old
so
school.
close to Russia, the Cold War and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes about people.
Yeah,
But
that's interesting.
It's mostly the elders who think that.
That's interesting. But because I've always been curious about Sweden and the other countries outside of America and how they're looking at America right now. How are they looking? How are the people of Sweden looking at America right now? Are they looking at us in a laughing way, or are they feeling bad for us?
I mean, you're not doing good in Sweden. I mean, most of the people hate Trump.
Oof.
He's so far from our political standards.
Yeah.
Like here, or a party in a party in Sweden.
Yeah.
Who stands for no, that immigrants can't come in Sweden. They're getting a lot of rage. Against them. They're getting a lot of critique.
Oh wow.
Just because of they don't want that many immigrants in Sweden. Like that's the level of Sweden.
Wow.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Wow.
Because it's too offensive. Because our country wants to take in everyone. I think we took in 500,000 of immigrants in 2015, and you have to remember our country is only 9 million people.
Right.
So 500,000 is we don't have housing for that. Like we don't have anything to support them with.
Yeah.
We pay so much tax. We pay tax. We pay like 34% tax.
Yeah.
So everyone can get free healthcare and school and everything. And when they come in and don't have work, maybe not a home, it's hard for Sweden to support them with housing and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
The problem lays in
Huh.
What did you say?
No, I said that's really fascinating. Because because I can only imagine I guess it's just really fascinating to hear that. So 2015, there were a whole lot of immigrants that went into Sweden, and then it just got, I guess, overpopulated? Is it now two? Is there, you know what I mean? How is it now? Obviously it's 5 years later. So have you seen the difference?
Yeah, I gotcha. It's working, but it becomes really before 2015 something. There were almost only Swedish people, like white people.
Mm-hmm.
And this massive wave of immigrants now we have a problem we have a problem finding jobs because there's so many immigrants who just came in, and that's I'm not into politics that much.
Right.
I want immigrants to be here, but if they're going to be here, at least we have to have some support for them.
Yeah.
Because I think Sweden wants to take in more immigrants than they actually can support.
Yeah, no, I believe that. Wow, man. And what is your like? Are you guys a democracy? Are you guys like is it socialism? Are you guys communists?
Socialism.
Like socialism?
Bro,
Okay.
we're so social. We are like the biggest socialists ever. Like you guys would like I talked to another American guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't agree with me on any point,
Of course.
not even one. But it's like we have
course.
we pay a lot of tax. I know Americans don't like that much.
No, we do not.
I also know. Yeah, I know that. You hate it. You hate tax.
Yeah, we hate it like we hate it with a passion.
Yeah, we actually love it because
Why?
if I broke my leg right now,
Mm-hmm.
I would only have to pay $10 to get it fixed.
Get out.
Like right now, only $10, nothing more, only $10.
$10.
Yeah,
But you're also
you
paying
have
that.
to,
but you're still paying that. You're still paying for it through the taxes, though. So I mean, even though you're
Exactly,
spending $10, you're still paying it
not
in the
technically
taxes. Yeah. So it's not technically
we're paying,
free. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Americans feel like you have to pay for yourself.
Yeah.
And we think more about we have to pay for each other, because if I get cancer, I have to go through a surgery and everything. And often, if you have cancer by like smoking or anything else like that, you often don't have a lot of money in Sweden. Like you're kind of you get what I'm saying. Then you have the opportunity to do that, because I know some people in America getting real debt. How do you say debt?
Yeah, debt.
Debt. Yeah, debt. They get in debt for their insurance and what's not called their
I mean
their medical bills.
Yes, medical bills can really take over your life, especially if you're dealing with some ongoing disease, some life-threatening disease like cancer, so on and so forth. Yeah, I
have a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys have to pay for like medication?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
I mean, yes and no. I mean, yes. There are certain things that are covered by insurance, but then there's certain things that aren't. But then, of course, you're still having to pay some copay or of some sort of thing like that. But a lot of times, yes, you're having to pay for your medication for sure. Especially there are some out there that are really expensive that you're just going, I have to pay how much a month for this little, bottle of pills? Holy cow. I got to spend this much money for this? This is insane. So, yeah, that's also fascinating.
Yeah, I got you. I also have one thing to say, one more thing.
One more thing, sure.
Then I have to leave because,
money.
So the news media in Sweden, we only have one reliable. That is like, it's from the state, it's natural, it's non-politic. Like you can always trust that news source.
Oh, okay.
That's why we don't have like Fox and different parties who support different sides of the political spectrum.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, we have one source that tells everything from both sides, and if there is some side views, then they pick in people to have a debate rather than telling facts from one side.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I know you might say like, okay, well, doesn't that say they contribute to all the news so they can have one political side? You might say that.
Yeah, I mean, because
you know what I'm
saying. No, and that's really interesting. Like that, you guys don't have. It's a universal news station. It just covers what's going on in the country and what's going on in the world, but there's no bias. It's just one. It's just the news, and that's it. And that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's like only facts. There's always different sources. They show it, and if you don't want to look at that, I mean, I don't want to look at that because it feels like it's just for a teenager to look at that. It's just annoying. It's boring.
Yeah.
But there's other news media sources as well, but it's just not as reliable as that one.
Gotcha.
It's controlled. I think it's called TV4. It's like TV4. It's like the main channel in Sweden everyone gets.
Gotcha.
So you get the channel for free.
Oh, okay.
So everyone can watch it.
That's cool, man. Well, hey, Emil, thank you so much for calling in. Dropping some knowledge about Sweden. I really, really appreciate it, brother. And stay safe up there. And of course, you can always call in anytime on the Pascal Show, my brother. Anytime.
Yeah. Dude, just hit me up whenever if you wonder anything about Sweden.
I would love that. I will.
If there's going on, it's just if you want to talk to me, if I want to call in, there might have to be a Skype call because I think it's $1.50 every minute or something.
Wow.
So it's pretty expensive.
I feel you, man. Well, thank you. So then we're gonna have to get in touch via somewhere and talk more. All right, brother. Take care.
See you, dude.
All right. Peace.
Have a good one.
Oh man. So anyway, Emil from Sweden, calling all the way from Sweden. Love it. I love it. That is really, really cool, Tom. Hey. Anyway, so yes, I appreciate everybody who called in today. It really means obviously tremendously a lot. Unfortunately, we gotta wrap up the show a little bit. There's a lot more that we need to talk about, but unfortunately, we kind of went in on a lot of stuff and a lot of the news that's going on. There's some good things like we just talked about earlier, and all four officers or former police officers have been arrested, and they are in jail right now, and they're being charged. And I'm excited about that. I'm thankful for that. Now we just got to see what happens with the rest of the night. Make sure that and make sure that the protests stay peaceful. Nothing gets violent. No more looting. No more craziness. I think one night was enough, in my personal opinion. We need to take a break from that stuff. Yes, a lot of these businesses are going to be able to rebuild, and they'll rebuild stronger. But at the same time, a lot of these businesses didn't need to get hit within the wake of the protests and the wake of the riots, So, so anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, Tom, for being on tonight.
Yeah,
that really
thank
meant
you.
a lot. That was really great. Obviously, there's a lot more we could talk about, but we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Like I said, we'll cover everything tomorrow, and I'm sure there's going to be more news stuff that's going to be breaking overnight. As we sign off and as we're talking right now, I'm sure there's more stuff that's been going on. So we will be talking about those things here very, very shortly tomorrow morning. So, excuse me, be sure to tune in tomorrow morning, because like I always say, we do our show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you get some time, please go check it out. Please go check us out tomorrow morning. But I will be on tomorrow night, as I usually am, talking about what else is going on in the world and all that. So if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And of course, hit that like button down below underneath this feed. If you appreciate the conversation, you appreciate the show today, that really means a lot, or this show tonight. And we'll be back on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tom, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys, just be safe out there. If you're out there protesting, protest with peace and love in your heart. Let's get the message out there in love and solidarity. And of course, we will be back on tomorrow to talk about everything that happened overnight and the things that we missed this evening. So be sure to tune in. We got to get going, but I'm going to miss you guys. All right. I miss you already. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is the Pascal Show. We're making progress, y'all. Bye.
Sex, money, power, respect. All of us in this community. All the good people different to me.
Hey, take up in glass.
The festival's crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their seconds and loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. We wasn't feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. That
see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.